So a man with a mental condition, like those is
Yeah.
what sane people would think, but that's not what you get. Welcome to Pull the Pin Already, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions on the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
But we promise we're going to enjoy giving them to you.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Mike. Let's pull the pin.
All
Oh,
right, Mike, can we try not to be so robotic, Mike? You just sound so businesslike.
I have a topic to discuss.
Okay, be a little robotic. That's kind of cool.
A little, but not much.
It might not. Hey, this whole time Mike was a robot. Who would have
Yeah,
known?
right? AR. AI.
Jim couldn't get any friends. They're all fake.
Yeah, right?
Well, Mike.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, another one. I didn't know if you were going to go there, but I guess we're going to go there.
Yeah, let's just go there. Get it over with.
Yeah.
Another mass shooting.
Oh, I think you're talking about another COVID case.
No. It'd be like, oh no, another COVID vaccine.
Oh,
That's
vaccine,
more
yeah.
like it, right? Yeah.
For a new strain, right? For the new strain,
new strain,
it's going to morph into
new
another
vaccine,
strain.
yeah.
Before long, you got 19 vaccines to get before you can fly in an airplane. Got it.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the real shooting. Which one are we talking about?
Oh, wait a minute. We had
Boulder?
which one is the latest?
Boulder, Colorado?
Boulder, Colorado, yeah. What's up with that?
Well, what's the normal thing? Like, even if, like, let's say you didn't even watch the news, Mike, and if I had said, hey, I just heard on the news there's another mass shooting, what are some things you would imply just by hearing what you just heard me say?
He has some kind of, it's a he, first and foremost. Mm-hmm. Mass shooter these days, and he has some type of mental condition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, well, no, I can't go there because we had somebody shut up a school. So, yeah, those first two things that would come to mind.
So the first one was what?
It was a male. Mass shooter is a male.
Right.
And he has a mental condition.
So a man with a mental condition. Like, those is what sane people would think. But that's not what you get. No, it was some white supremacist that was dictated by Trump to go and commit some racist crime. Yes.
Wow,
in fact, when they found out the man's name and realized he was Muslim, CNN actually put out some, what are they calling it? Well, he was factually Arab, but morally white or something. Like, they made some asinine statement that just made no sense. It was like a little kid trying to cover up their lie. It was incredible.
Oh, okay.
Incredible, because everybody jumped the gun, right?
Yeah. Was he white though?
No. Well, I mean, he's a Serbian-born immigrant that grew up here. His parents brought him here, so yeah, you can consider him white. Yeah, he's Arab white. Well, that's technically Asian.
It's kind of, you know who I wish was here right now?
Who's that?
That mofo I want to choke, Paul. We got into it on Facebook, and he was saying how, damn, I got into it, but I can't remember the lady's name. The one that married the Prince guy over there.
Oh, Macon?
Markle? Yeah, Markle, right? How he said, but he said how she, you couldn't really tell that she was black just by some of the pictures that he had seen. And I was like, oh, okay. So initially, in this case, he's a white guy.
Well, and I get that, like what you're saying, but I think there's a distinction between being born in Serbia, which is an Asian place. That's East Asia.
Okay. Tracking now.
Right. So you can't just say white because he looks white. I mean, Markle can argue that she's got bloodline and things from different, mom and dad might have been different, but.
Yeah, what I'm saying, it kind of supports him and what he was saying. Like, on the surface, she doesn't look black, is what he was saying. So on this one, he doesn't look like an Asian.
Well, he does look Serbian. He definitely looks Serbian.
Asia, so I'm just saying. Just by the picture, people are not going to say, "Oh, he's Serbian, he's Asian." You know?
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
but just like we talked about before, why does that matter? Why don't you wait to find out what's going on before you jump to conclusions?
yeah. But just like we talked about before, this is America. You
Right.
have to be the
Well, why
first
is
one to
this
get that
becoming
story
normal?
out, and you have to sensationalize it so you can get the what clicks, the likes, the
Hmm.
comments, get the conversation going.
It's just so sad too. It's just
Yeah,
so
but
sad.
this is America.
And that's what I said. I mean, like, there's certain criteria that you have to go down and just see. Well, okay, was it black on white? No. Okay, we don't want to talk about that. Was it black on? No, we don't want to talk about that. Oh, it was white on. Oh, it was white on another. Yes. Okay, we can
Yeah,
do that.
there it is.
Oh, he's not white. Oh, wait, but he is white-like. So he is whiteness, is white pride, is white. It's just so sad, man.
No,
It's
it
like
comes back to being a Trump. When you said Trump supporter, I was like, wow,
I don't
they
think he's a
really.
Trump supporter, but they're
No,
blaming
I'm
they
not. That's
blame
what you're
Trump.
saying. They were leaning towards that.
Well, they do that at everything. That's what I'm saying. That's their reaction. Like,
Oh,
remember with
okay.
the Asian shooting that we talked about last time with
Right, right.
the Paulers? Oh, did you know that too? Two white people were shot in that.
Yeah,
So obviously
yeah.
the dude's off the hook on the hate crime, right?
No, they were just
Oh, they were innocent
collateral damage.
bystanders. Right, gotcha.
It's
But you see how
collateral damage. Still
but
getting with the hate crime.
you see how stupid the conversation is, and
Yeah.
that's why we talked about it because it's just
Yep.
stupid. You can't. He hated what? He hated massage parlors because they fed his sex addiction or something. Why can't people just wait for the facts? Like,
I think
why?
he did that because they said no,
Right,
or
right,
there's no more, or something like that.
right. Too many happy endings, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I don't blame him.
yeah.
I mean
Okay.
them, not him. I
Yeah,
don't blame
yeah.
them, not him. No, he's a crazy lunatic. Yeah. Whew, yeah,
But
that's gonna be.
yeah, but that's the place, the country that we live in, man. When it comes to that, the media waiting versus, you know, jumping the gun. You know, sensationalizing. It's all about getting the clicks. It's all about getting the likes and being that first one. Don't have to worry about it being accurate. You have to be the first one to get the story out. It's sort of now, you know, back in the day, they would jump in a van and rush to the scene and be the first ones on the scene. And that's how it is today, but I guess virtually.
Right, and the difference is like there's some guys out there I listen to on YouTube that I think actually do reporting. These
Hmm.
guys aren't even reporting. They're literally sitting in a computer watching someone else's TikTok come up, and then they're jumping on it and writing about it. Like they're
Yeah, it's
not
no
even
different than
reporting.
what did they used to call those people back in the day who used to have the radio with the police
Oh,
frequency?
the ambulance chasers and all that.
Yes, those guys, you know, and they'll be the first on the scene before the police and
Yeah,
the reporters.
but that's an
You
effort.
know,
That's an effort. They're not even
yeah,
making an effort anymore. And at
no,
least there, they tend to report it, at least the facts or as they see it. You know, they can twist it on the scene if they wanted. But here it's like a whole staged event and they don't even wait for the facts. It's
right,
crazy to me.
yep.
Crazy.
I can't believe that it's still going on. To be honest with you, I would have expected a whole line of people just to say, you know what, forget about it. We're
Hmm.
tired of it. We're being lied to. We're tired of sensationalism and all this other crap. You know, we're not doing it anymore. And just take a knee. Take a knee, let it go, and move
I was
on.
I would expect that from the reporters. Like at some point you gotta look at these groups of people and say, like, do any of you have any integrity? Do any of you? You know what I mean? Are you really just that subservient to the dollar, the click? I mean, you have no integrity?
Yeah, I think they all want to be the next name a famous reporter.
There are no more. TikTok. Just name a famous TikTok player, and I think that actually has something to do with it. I think all this celebrity status that
Yeah,
YouTube's and
yep.
TikToks has gotten, that's what people are chasing right
Yeah,
now.
people saying people get famous off of YouTube, and now, like you said, it's TikTok, and
Yeah.
yeah, I guess people want their 15 minutes.
Like think about it. I mean, think about it. You say fortunately for some of the video footage we can see things clearer, but there's always
Right, right.
CCTV. But to think that the mentality of people today is to pull out a phone and record somebody getting their butt kicked, where that would make me cringe and want to do something, they're
Yeah.
pulling out their phone.
Well, it's the same. Wow, it's funny you should say that. I seen a video and there's videos all over the place now, just because of what you just said, the cell phones. And I seen it. It was someone was saying about this performance some guy did in a church, and it was a phone recording. And as they were panning around, so many people had their phones out. I was like, wow, okay. I don't get it, but you know what I mean? It's like I would be there to enjoy the service. I would be there cringing, at least wanting to help someone if they're in trouble. But
Right.
now the first instinct, and it's not just America, it's just all over. The first instinct is people pull out their phone so they can post it
Right. Right.
and to get the clicks, to get the likes, whatever. It's just not right.
It's crazy, and it's
Yeah,
just like we've lost humanity over popularity. It's like it's
yeah,
crazy, and I think that's because the more we engulf ourselves into this internet and this, even like what we're doing here. I mean, you've got to get out and talk to people. You got to go out and do things. The more you sit in the cyber world, the less significance you really have. It's a
yeah.
false
I agree.
sense.
I
So these
agree.
people, they look for the next thing. That's why we have people eating Tide Pods and things like that. Like what?
I blame that show Survivor on that.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, I blame the show Survivor on that stuff. I blame MTV for all this reality housewife world crap that's not reality. I blame them for it.
But
We have become what did that guy say that day? He said we are a voyeuristic society. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, no, well, oh yeah, we are. You
so
know,
that's a good question, Mike, because I was going to ask, is that something we've become, or is that just something that's being fulfilled that we want?
no, I think we become that. We've
You
become
think
that.
so? But you
Yeah,
don't think like Jerry Springer's been around for a long time? Like shows
yeah, but
like that
I think
people used
that
to
that's
watch.
different. I think that's different. Um, because in the beginning they got like who's the first one you've seen with a big fight on a talk show? How far back as you can remember? Mine was I think it was Gerardo, where he got hit in the head with the chair, broke his nose or something. And his ratings skyrocketed. So
Hmm.
then they're like, oh, okay, we got to jump on that wagon. We got to get our
Right.
ratings up there. So they started having controversial issues. And if something broke out, yeah, we have security in about a second and a half behind
Delay. They've got an
the
internet
agitators.
lag on their security.
Yeah, you
What'd you
know,
say? Oh,
yeah,
move now? Oh, okay.
okay, we're on our way,
Did you
So,
get that? Yeah, I
yeah.
got it. You got
Now
it?
you got to keep
Okay.
in mind, Jim. I say I blame Survivor. I blame uh, reality TV, MTV for the real world. I think it was. I blame them for it, but they were just providing a product. They didn't
Right.
ask. They wanted people to watch, of course, but they didn't force anyone. So when something's popular, that's just the way. And damn, what was that guy's name? He said that's how Hollywood is. If you notice, if if a movie comes out and it's a blockbuster hit, automatically they just going back to find a sequel, a prequel, or whatever,
Right.
because that's the thing that's in right now. You know, that's why I like Fast and Furious. People have tried to do spin-offs of that, and it wasn't successful. You
Hmm.
know, some of them were.
So my question is do you think as people that we are indulging in things that we don't normally see because we want to see those, or because we're feeding that inner beast? That's what I'm saying. Like think about violence itself. Like
I,
MMA. We had boxing,
right,
right? Bunch
right,
two dudes butting there punching each other in the face, and to
right.
me it's stupid, but hey, if two grown men want to go punch each other, go for it. So then MMA came along, and I'm like, why are people so obsessed with people going and beating each other to a pulp? Like, why? Is it because it's different, or is it because it's what they want? They want to see this stuff.
Okay, now now you're hitting a sensitive area. I'm a big fan of MMA.
Well, hey, look, I'm a hockey fan, and I like the fights. They get me excited. So I'm answering the question myself.
There you go. Say no more. You just said it right there, and I like
but
watching the fights. I get excited.
But the difference is both of those, the fighting is an anomaly in hockey, and it is a feed. You know what I mean? Like it's not like
Right.
fighting. Like boxing is the whole thing's about boxing. Hockey's just a game, and then fights break out. You
Right.
know, but I don't like. I cringe when I see one guy getting pummeled and he doesn't stand a chance and he didn't want to fight. Like to me, that there's no glory or that's not rewarding to me to watch somebody get beat up that didn't even want to fight.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what
I
I mean?
understand. I
So
understand.
where's the line of appreciating the violence or the aggression? Let's call it. We don't want to call it violence because maybe it's not violent to the people doing it. Where's the delineation between those two to say that this is entertainment and this is some sort of sick, demented, voyeuristic way to feed some inner beast?
I think we all have an interest in seeing how other people live. You know what I mean? I wonder, like my next door neighbor, what are they doing? I never see them. What are they doing in there? We want to see how others live. So then when these reality, once again, I cringe when I use the word reality shows come out. What's that other one? Big Brother or something like that.
Right.
You know, where they live in their place and then they scheme and form an alliance and that is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of it is kind of uh, a competitive nature, like on that show Survivor, but it's not reality. When you put people in a box in different rooms and say, "Hey, they are living in this area," then we want to know how people live because we want to know if we're normal.
Well,
You know?
that's bingo. You just hit it because see, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, is it something that they're trying to see? Like if they watch reality TV stuff, like if they watch these shootings, all these things that are happening, are they watching them and saying like, "Oh, that's influencing me," or are they saying, "Oh, that's normal. I'm not crazy. Like these are the thoughts I have. These are the things I
Right.
have." Like are they validating their internal desires and thoughts, or are they saying, "Oh, wow, now it's normal. I can do it."
Or not as normal. I can do it. Probably. We don't know. Right. I think it's some people that's going to fit either category.
Hmm.
But I think it's more of, oh, I'm not the only one. Yeah, I can continue.
Right. Well, we got
Now,
a lot.
unless it's on a show like Cops, where you see people doing the same thing that I've been doing, but they're getting arrested, then it might teach me, ooh, I better not be doing that. You
Right.
don't know. You don't know. But I think it's more, that's another show, Cops. But that's kind of near and dear to my heart there. So that's a good show.
Right.
That's reality.
Well, yeah. Selective edit, not editing, but selective
Yeah,
shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Because obviously, if they actually rode along with a cop, everything's not like Cops.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'd
Well,
like
they
somebody
admit
sit there for
that.
2 hours and watch me fill out a report.
Right. They do admit that, though.
Right.
They say, like, you can see it probably took 60 to 90 days in some areas to get that one
Hmm.
incident, on the
Yeah.
show. Yeah, so they've admitted to that.
So then I guess what I'm getting at the root of what of my questions is so are we doing a disservice by even putting this stuff in the news? Like, can we not just be like think about this? If we were in another country and shootings happened often, let's say we're in Israel. I guess Israel has a lot of problems and issues with people trying to destroy them all the time. I don't know why, but say that becomes more normal in that society. It's not in the news. So, is there an argument to say that by us sensationalizing, forget about the media making lies and trying to pit us against each other and all that, forget that portion. Just putting it in the media, like, is that not sensationalizing it so that other people are like, oh, I can do that too? Like, is that not a risk?
Well, yeah, I think no matter which way you go with it, it's a risk because we did have the days where this stuff wasn't reported for fear of a certain state or even the country looking bad.
Hmm.
But now things are being reported and they putting a spin to it, and that's the part that I disagree with. If you're just going to report, then if you're going to report something on Mike James, then I say report something on Jimbo as well. But when you try to
Right,
hide it or spin it or whatever, that's when it started going downhill.
right. at least have a
That's just
standard.
my own opinion.
At least have a standard of number of people involved. Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, even like now, they're obviously, we all knew this was going to happen. Like, obviously, well, I don't say obviously. Nobody's saying it was staged or any of that stuff, but we all knew we were waiting for the next gun incident to go after the guns again. We all knew that. We knew it was just a matter of time. You could almost see the administration waiting to sign the paperwork. So,
Salivating.
right, you see it, right? And then all of a sudden now, I have to tell you, Mike, I'm working on my tolerance. I really am. And I don't like calling people stupid, right? I don't mind it. I'm trying not to do it because it's probably just a representation of me I'm projecting, right? So, but it really, really irritates me when I go on these feeds, these forums, Facebook, wherever the heck they are, and all of these ignorant people who don't even know how guns work talking about, it's time we take away the assault rifles. It's time we... Like, it just baffles me. Just do a little research. You don't have to like guns. And I'll tell you, the chances are you either don't like guns at all or you understand guns. There is no assault rifle arguments. It's the stupidest thing in the world. I just don't get them, and they irritate me. Have you seen a lot of that now?
No.
Because you are one of them, right? Oh, God, I knew
What?
it. I knew it.
We talked about it.
Right.
Didn't we?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, just think about this. Think about this. We don't know the motive of this guy, right? We
Right.
don't know the motive. So let's say the man was motivated to make a scene and have this happen to a whole bunch of people, and he didn't have access to a gun.
Right.
Like, we had this conversation, right? Didn't we?
Yeah.
You know, what does that lead to? What? He decides, well, I guess I'm not going to do it because I can't go get a gun. Like, is that the answer? Is that what this man's motivation stops at?
Yeah, but I think the difference is that's the issue, though. Whether or not he's going to still, do harm to these people and how, that's irrelevant in that argument.
In their argument, right? But that's not
because they just
the
want
argument. Is the
they don't
surface.
want him. They're looking at it like it's a deterrent. If you ban rifles, right, shotguns, if you ban all of them, that's going to be a deterrent from people being able to do what this guy has done. So that's all it is. That's how they view it.
Right, the war on drugs. So if we if we criminalize drugs, nobody will have them.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. How's that work? I don't think you could 3D print a drug, but you might be able to 3D print a gun now.
Right,
so what are they going to do? Ban printers, right? What are they going to do when the guy decides to drive a van through 20 people? Ban vans. I mean, it's just so asinine. They're not even looking at it.
That's already been done.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, it's been done. Drive a van through.
Oh.
Yeah, and what happens when you can't get the drugs? Some people make up their own drugs somehow, some way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's that going, by the way?
I had to stop.
All right, good.
Yeah, I had to.
Too much publicity.
Yeah, you just lowered your cut.
Well, how do you go any lower than zero? I ain't seen
know, right? You. Now you owe me. Yeah.
Or else.
Yeah. Ooh.
It rubs the lotion on its body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it gets the hose again.
But you took it back, did you?
Right,
Silence of the Lamb.
So I mean, that's my point. And talking about silence, that these people are crazy. Like that to me is the conversation. We did away with the mental institutions. We did away with all the mental health thing. We've made it a stigma. You can't call people things. You can't say these things. And now we just medicate everybody. Instead of providing help, we just medicate everybody.
Right.
And yet then we're going to go after superficial things like guns. Like, that is not going to make a difference. In fact, I used to live in Boulder, Colorado. I did. Well, just outside a little subsection of it. But I used to live there. And that is a very liberal place. I mean, they used to call it like the People's Republic of Boulder. Very liberal place. And they were like, I think, the first people to ban smoking indoors and things like this. So why do you think this happens in places like that? I keep thinking in myself, like, I go through these motions, like, what if that was me? What if I was shopping at that place? You know what I mean? Maybe the guy would have caught me by surprise, or maybe one person might have got caught and he would be laying on the ground. I mean, I just can't help to think that these things happen in these places where nobody likes guns.
Mm.
It to me, it's crazy. I mean, wouldn't in the military, doesn't the enemy go for the softest target?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that make sense? So if this
Yeah.
guy's crazy and we're not treating crazy nowadays, then what's the outcome gonna be? If he's determined,
Yeah, but why not? Well, you know what? I can't say that neither. Allegedly, he had this weapon. It was all legal.
sure,
He bought it. He purchased it legally. So to me, he had to have some type of background check done, right?
sure.
You got to submit the background thing, and it goes to the FBI or whomever. And I'm like, so why are people saying you need to do background checks? Or is it just like when they talk about gun shows or some? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't
It,
get it.
all those rules that they're trying to pass right now, they already exist.
See, that's what I thought. But
Yeah.
I heard something about that you don't have to do anything at a gun show.
They're talking about a loophole at a gun show. But the
Right.
loophole is what they're trying to stop is private person to person sales. But even the person to person sales requires something done to
Right.
sell it because you are putting yourself on the line if you sell a gun to somebody who's a felon and you can't. That is a felony.
Right.
It is a federal felony where you will go to jail if they find out that you sold this person this gun who shouldn't have bought the gun.
So what's the issue?
I don't know what the issue is. And I'm even like, look, pass the bill. But the problem is it's all political. It's
Yeah.
all political. Pass the magazine thing and guys will invent 3 magazines to attach together and just keep
Yeah.
flipping them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
It's
not
already out there.
stopping
Yeah.
people. This
Yeah.
is not a deterrent. You're not stopping people. All you're doing is hurting law-abiding citizens from defending themselves. That's all you're
Yeah.
doing.
I agree.
So get the
I agree
politics out of this crap.
wholeheartedly.
Talk about the problem. You know,
Yeah.
we bring back the mental institutions or we bring back evaluations. Like, I don't care. I'll go take a stupid test with a background check. Are you crazy? Well, Mike says so. All right, well, we'll get back to you. I
I've
mean,
never called you crazy.
well, all right. Maybe that's projection
Never.
again.
Never.
All right, now I know you're lying.
I called you something, but not crazy.
Yeah, you call me a lot of things. And probably all of them are probably true. I have no way to defend it. So we get it. So the shooting itself, they don't know the motivation. They just made all these assumptions. Again, jumping the gun, like you said, for clicks. And I'm kind of
Yep.
getting tired of it. As a white guy, I'm really getting tired of it because now I'm the one that's, being targeted because it's my whiteness that's causing all this. I don't
No,
get it.
I thought it was Trump that was causing all of this.
Well, that's their first go-to. And then when they can't get Trump, it's a white racist thing. It's white supremacy, which Trump enabled. Trump enacted that, right? That's where they're trying to Trump.
Yeah, it started with him.
Trump started white supremacy.
Yeah.
He created the whole concept and everything. I mean, I think it's written on the Trump Tower, but in secret letters or something. I don't
I
know.
haven't heard that, but I did hear how he made them feel comfortable with coming out.
He made them feel right. Okay.
Yeah.
So because somebody supports freedom and that and another group aligns with it. Well, look right now. Like, what do you say now? Like, I just saw some in the news about that all black militia right now that's growing. I think they were a bunch of jokers in the beginning. I don't know now, but they're growing to defend the black communities against cops.
I don't have an issue with that.
Well, I don't have an issue with anybody arming themselves because that's exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
But the question is why are you arming yourself? Like, how many times have we heard the Proud Boys bad, these militias bad, but yet now all of a sudden, if we have a certain skin tone, it's not a problem? Well, what's the standard?
No, well, once again, if you really want to know about what they stand on, then to me, you have to be willing. You have to have an open mind, right? And I think most Americans do not have an open mind. They don't.
Sure.
Okay, and we can save that for another show. But what I'm getting at is, if you don't understand my struggle as a vet, then I can't. Then I understand why you don't support things for vets when it
Sure.
comes to mental illness. I get it.
But
You know,
I'm not
'cause people
talking
don't-
about a black and white. I'm talking about a standard. I'm talking
Oh,
about
standard for
standard.
what?
A standard of how are you going to belittle and call Proud Boys white supremacists and then turn around and not say a word when an all black militia is standing up against police? Like, I don't know what that means. To me, it's okay. Are they standing up for their rights, or is it the color of their skin that allows them to do it? Like, I don't know why one's bad and the other one's not. Both of them are standing up for their rights.
You don't understand why a white supremacist is bad?
No, I don't think they're white supremacists. That's what they're doing is calling these
Oh,
militia, even though it was a Hispanic guy running them, right? They're calling this militia white
okay.
supremacists to belittle them, to degrade them into nothing but a militia out to cause problems.
Well, what would you call them? Just regular old guys?
I call them a militia. They have their just as much right as if you can tell me, and I'm not arguing the case or against it. If you can tell me that the black militia has a reason because they have a struggle, if you can tell me that, you can't diminish somebody else's struggle. So
What
either
is their struggle?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Oh,
Maybe,
okay, then all right. I don't know what their struggle is,
but that's
but it
my
just
point. So
yeah,
we
it's
can't
just
just assume that they're something, right?
I don't assume the Proud Boys are anything.
Well, but I'm talking about the media. That's why this is. I'm not talking
Right.
about Mike James. I'm talking about that's what the media has done, and this double standard just goes to show it ties into like the shooting
Well,
stuff.
it's just like when you see the Second Amendment crowd,
Hmm.
right? Those protesters out there, and they do. I just say, oh, I get it. I
Hmm.
don't own a gun, but I'm on their side because I feel the same way they do. You get what I'm
Sure.
saying?
Yeah. And
So, but now if you want to talk Proud Boys versus this one black, and I really don't know the group you're talking about, this black militia group, right? But just going by the way you described them, I was like, okay, I can see it
right.
because I do believe there's an issue in communities where uh, the majority of police officers are white and they're policing black communities or even Hispanic communities or other communities. I really and truly believe there's a problem there in America. Is it a
Sure.
problem in all of them? No. But in some of them, yeah,
Sure. I also
I can
don't.
see it.
Well, I won't disagree with you because I do believe there's problems. I mean, there's problems in any police department. There's usually one, two guys that I get that. Uh, I also though don't think that the problem is solely the responsibility of one side either. And if that's how you want to answer it, then what now? What now? That's my question. If you believe that there is a problem in a community, say, the law enforcement, and you get an armed militia, what now? What happens?
It'd be some type of standoff.
Okay, so what are the police going to do?
Try to disarm them.
And if they don't, what are the other choices? They're going to do
Boy, you're
absolutely
gonna
nothing.
what if this to death, aren't you?
Well, they're going to do nothing. If you think they're going to go in and disarm a militia, I mean, we've seen them already back down in Oregon and all that. They're going to do nothing. So unless
Well,
this group takes over law enforcement duties in their community, then you're going to have a bigger problem than the police department.
or just be more transparent.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There are ways to do it as opposed to targeting this is why we're going to stand up against this. Like there's ways to do that. Like we're
Yeah,
already
but if
doing it.
a group, just a group, is
Mhm.
saying we have a problem with police brutality, police abuse, whatever, abuse of power, and we're not standing for it anymore. What is the issue with that?
Nothing, but what's the issue with this? Let's go back to Boulder, Colorado. What does this guy stand for? What is his issue? Is his issue oppression of Americans oppressing their democracy on his country?
Oh, that would be bad.
Well, my point being is to argue on someone else's belief and stance. To me, is futile because in their minds they can believe in their belief even if the other people don't believe in it. So the question is, how do you resolve it? To me
Well,
is
there's a big difference. He took action. He hurt probably people that had nothing to do with his cause was, you know, if they saying they just gonna stand up and protect, for them, to me, this is kind of like what I was trying to get with Tim. I think there's a problem when the private citizens, have to join together and form a group, some type of coalition to protect themselves when you have the police that are hired to do just that. So
No,
there's a problem there. So
I
now
agree with that.
compared to
Yeah.
the guy in Boulder, Colorado, who his country, whatever, last I checked, he was damn American. This is his country. You get what I'm saying? So,
I don't know if
and
he
if
had
you want to compare it
citizenship,
to
but
the
right.
Proud Boys, I will say, okay, state their case, and we can talk about it.
Well, that's what they were doing. They were protecting property. They were protecting people. They were doing that. They were protecting
Oh,
what they believed.
who are they protecting it
Proud Boys.
from? Who is they protecting it
Antifa,
from? Huh?
Antifa, and
And see, once again, though, I don't have a problem with that.
yeah, I don't. Well, I don't even have a problem
Yeah.
with what you're saying. It's black militia. So I don't have a problem with the black militia. Period. Because like I said, I don't even know what they're doing. I'm talking about the spin, how one is bad, one is good, or one is at least not acknowledged and the other one's not. It's just leading into this whole thing like we're talking about the shootings. So they
Yeah, but
jumped in the gun.
here we go.
What's that?
Back to the beginning of our conversation. There's no way to sensationalize the black militia story.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Until something happens.
Right.
Yeah. Until something
Yeah.
happens, then they can say, "Oh yeah, these are oh man, they're related to somehow the Black Panthers or something like that." They'll
Right.
say
Right.
just to sensationalize it. Something has to happen.
So you think it's just because right now there's no good media they can get out of it?
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
fair.
America.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was pointing out the hypocrisy in it, but I guess that makes sense because that's keeping in line.
No, there is hypocrisy. You're absolutely right, but they can't sensationalize it yet. They have
Right.
to wait for something to happen on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Well, we good on the shooting. Obviously, everybody knows it's bad. Our uh, condolences goes out to all the family and the people. I can't even imagine. Like I said, all I could think is, if that was me or somebody I knew in there, that would have just terrible. So it's a really
and
terrible
we
scenario.
both probably have different opinions about the whole thing, gun control and everything. If we had a family member who was
Well,
armed,
I don't know if that's true because if I was armed and I was in there, I might have saved some lives. But
probably
because I know Boulder, they're probably there's no guns in Boulder, so
alleged.
nobody was saving them. Even the
Right,
first cop that came in got killed, which didn't
right,
surprise
right,
me. He probably thought he was going. He probably went in there for Starbucks and didn't even know what was going on.
right.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just that kind of town where somebody would be brave enough to do that. Like Texas. There's not a lot of people that just walk up and be like, "Hey, I'm going to go in here," because they have no idea how far they're
Right.
going to make it in the door.
Yep.
So
I agree.
that's what deters people. The
Yeah.
reality that they could be gone before they even get to do their dues.
Yep.
So when you don't have that threat or that concern, it's open season, fish in a barrel.
Yeah, like a lot of people feel like they think that back in the old Western days, there was a lot of shootouts, gun gunfights. It's like no, they weren't
Right.
because everybody had a gun.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
there weren't a lot going out there. So
Right. And they all
common
had more
misconception.
respect back then.
Yeah,
They respected life and people a lot more back then. That's why
they respected their own lives. That's why they didn't start it.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's why the duel and all that stuff was a thing. It wasn't just
Yeah.
walking up and taking pop shots at people.
Right,
It
right.
was like, all right, you think you're man enough? Let's do this. Boom.
Yeah, yep.
So, yeah. But anyways, I think we could pull the pin on this. Bad news.
Good.
Another pouncing opportunity for gun grabbing. I don't think it's going to work, but here we are
I
again.
think it'll work in a small because they just chopping at it little by little.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, I think innovation with something that strong in the American belief. Like I think the world outside thinks we're just all about guns and all about stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the true perception here. I don't think everybody's a gun fanatic because we're all like killers and no. I think there is a sense of freedom when you own a gun. It's I know I can protect myself because I don't trust the government to do that.
there you go.
You know?
Wow,
And
you sound like that black militia.
exactly. And that's why I said I don't fault them for that.
Right.
I guess my question would be whether their pretenses are right. But if that was what they do, I'm all for it. Anyway, we're
Right.
going back on a tangent. I'm trying to
Yeah,
close
we
this out.
are.
What are you doing? So let's go into our part here where we could pull the pin on something, give it a person a week, or just shout out, whatever you want to do. You got anything, Mike?
No, I'm totally unprepared.
Of course. So that means you want me to go first.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
trying
So
to think of something.
I'm gonna go. I can't, like, just putting the image in my head. I can't stop laughing. I'm gonna go back out there to the internet kids, the meme world that we live in today. I told you as a grumpy old man, I thought memes were stupid. Dude, I am like in love with these creative people. I am just given so much props. Like the memes of Joe Biden falling down those stairs or up those stairs. Oh my goodness. Bernie Sanders is no longer a thing. The Biden
Right,
stairs
right.
thing. I saw one
Yeah.
with Mario Kart where he was riding and he went up the stairs and then threw a banana and the Biden stepped on it, another banana he stepped on. I was laughing my butt off. So all you guys out there that are so creative with these memes, keep it up because you have taken the place of comedy in this world. So that is my shout out.
My shout out is going to go to Facebook. Yeah.
I can't wait to
Yep.
hear this one.
I've seen a lot of people. They have these medals now that someone created. Speaking of memes, about you were banned for 30 days, 10 days, 5 days, whatever, banned once or whatever. And I came so close to being, I guess, banned. I don't know. They put one of them not totally true on one of my posts.
What?
Yeah, and when I researched it, I was like, wow, okay. So I took it down. No problem. So when I see that people were banned from Facebook, I'm like, okay, I get it. I almost became, I almost got up on that board. So I believe in what they're doing. There's no such thing as freedom of speech on Facebook. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the government. So I don't know why people are complaining about it. So I say, Facebook, that's your company. Continue doing what you're doing. Because to me, it does look like they are fact checking or whatever. And if they want to stop hate speech, probably one-sided a little bit, but still, if they if they want to stop hate speech in their own way, I'm like, okay, that's their platform. They can do it. I support it. But don't get mad when another company does it for the other side.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just floored because, like, I get what you're saying in principle, sure. But nobody's fact checking the fact checkers. So wherever you found your information to find out it wasn't entirely true, I'd like to find out where they got their information from.
And where does it end?
Yeah.
It ends wherever the researcher feels comfortable.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be upset? Like if you were saying something I said, or just something you said on this show, and then they fact check it to not be true, and you can literally go back and say, no, it is true. Like, fact checkers aren't really always fact checking. You know the cycle of the spin. CNN makes something up, and then MSNBC reports on CNN's report,
right.
And then by the time
ABC
case, gets it, it's true.
Well, no, in this case, if I posted something and said all single dads are homosexuals, right, and then you're like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah, but at what point does I think that's factual?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I posted it. Right.
So if you were to write it in the front of it, in my opinion, does that change the entire context?
Not to me, because it's all based on opinion.
Right. So why would you need to fact check something that's clearly an opinion because you know it can't be true? Like, I don't know what kind of genius would know.
Well, I don't know. Why are you saying an opinion can't be true?
Well, all single people are homosexuals?
All single dads, not people.
Okay, well, you know one that's not, so it can't be true. Like,
no, I don't.
No, it can't be true. You can't say all and never or any of those things. Those are inherently not true. Period.
No, this is where you're wrong. Now we're getting ready to go down another hole. But this is where you're wrong. People can say anything they want.
Right. And it doesn't need to be fact checked because it's inherently an opinion because we already know that.
So, okay. Remember you said that the next time we have a political conversation.
Oh yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about half the time. What are you kidding?
No. I'm talking about when you talk about some of these politicians, and I'm gonna say, why are you researching to find out if they're speaking the truth or not?
Well, when it
It's
comes out of
just
their
their
mouth,
opinion.
they said it though. Right.
So what?
So I can say if you said something because it came out of your mouth, then it came out of your mouth. Like I can say that because it came out of your mouth. I'm watching you. But what you might be saying might not be true.
How do you know?
I don't, unless I go to wherever it came from.
So if I say all single dads are gay,
Yeah, I'm a single dad. I'm not gay, so therefore you're telling a lie. I know this.
it's not necessarily a lie. It's just untrue.
All right, we'll discuss the difference between untrue
I
and
was just
lie.
gonna keep going down. We done pulled
Yeah,
the pin. I'm just ready to keep
we are
going down.
definitely going to pull the pin on this because I don't know where we're even going with this. We're going to play semantics games. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for whatever the heck that last 10 minutes was, but putting up with it. We hope you come join us on the show. Get involved. PullThePinReady.com. We're here for you, veterans. Give you a voice. And until next time, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin. PullThePin.com. Woohoo!
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.